Hey all, Cypher, and welcome back to another Outerplane video. Now, the first developer notes have been officially posted on their official Stove website, and it's literally been, I think, less than 1 hour, and luckily I got the notification in time, and I'm expecting some big things, and the fact is, there's a lot of big things. Now, I've not gone through all the stuff, but I did see some of the portions of the update, and I'm just gonna say it's magnificent. For lack of better choice of words, I think it's beautiful what they're doing. All right, so let us take a look at the official patch. Now, I'm not gonna read all of this little notes, but I think it's very heartless. I mean, sorry, heartful. Why I'm saying heartless? I mean, it's very heartful. I think Mr. Monsoon Hyun, I think he really wants this game to succeed, and I'm all for it. I really want this game to succeed as well. And the fact is, this update, I really feel this is probably the perfect time to drop such a massive update, because if they dropped such kind of updates in the beta phase, I think this would have gained a lot less attraction than what it will probably right now. Alright, so let's go right into the update. So it's expected to go into 7th of June on the official global servers. So keep in mind, there's still 5 days for this update to drop. Alright, the first thing first, and I know a lot of players are gonna rejoice, and including me, because this was one of my major issues. I've already made a major issues video, so if not checked that out, go check it out. And this was one of my most major issues with the game. Alright, this is gonna be mileage carryover and increased recruitment chance. Alright, let's see what they have to say about it. First, let's take a look at the improvements to recruitment. Mileage obtained while recruiting heroes will no longer disappear and instead carry over to the next drop rate of recruitment. So that's a big win, guys. That's a big win. So for those of you who are not aware, probably you have played games like Genshin or even the recent Honkai Star Rail. It's gonna be the exact same system, right? So suppose you are gonna make 100 summons on the current win banner, and when the next banner comes up, you will still have 100 summons on the banner. So essentially, you will only be required to make 100 more summons to pity. So it's gonna make summoning a lot more fun, a lot more easier to acquire new characters, all the good stuff, right? So there's that. Also, hero recruitment chance will also be increased, allowing players to obtain new heroes and drop rate up heroes more easily. They did not mention how much is the increase gonna be, but again, this is like a double bonus. Like, even with just the mileage carryover, I would be satisfied, honestly. Now, I know the game has probably one of the shittier recruitment chances, but I would not mind if the mileage was getting carried over, because remember, in Epic 7, the mileage does not get carried over. It remains the same. And I think Epic 7 has probably the same rates as in Outerplane, alright? Now, also, they did not mention exactly the amount of recruitment chance, but they are saying it's going to be easier. And I think they're going to be more generous, because coming from Smilegate, again, this is not the publisher, is Smilegate, the developer's not, but they're closely related, so I'm guessing they're going to be, you know, discussing some stuff over with them, and they're pretty generous with this stuff. So I'm hoping quite the best, right? Let's see what else they have to say. While we also plan to bring improvements to products and perks available in the shop, we have decided to prioritize improving recruitment, the feature most often used by players, in order to lower the difficulty of acquiring new heroes. So the mileage carryover will begin with currently ongoing Win and Valentine drop rate of recruitments, and the remaining mileage will not be converted into Star's memory. So that's a big win, guys. Do not worry if you're not able to pity, Win, or Valentine, or whatever hero you were going for. Your mileage is gonna get carried over. So they say it right here. It's gonna start with the current banners. So I think that's a big W, man. I cannot say it more encouragingly, because honestly, it's just the best thing that they have done to the game. This is probably one of the best improvements that have come out, right? Coming to improvements to hero pieces. Again, this one looks like a banger, at least it sounds like one. Regular events and cost re-evaluation. Many players have brought up the issue of difficulty related to collecting pieces to transcend heroes, and we plan to prioritize looking into possible solutions and relaxing its difficulty. So they acknowledge the fact that currently it's very difficult to transcend heroes, even the lower ones, because the amount of pieces required just ramps up so exponentially fast. It's quite literally impossible unless you're summoning a lot, right? And I know there's a side story feature, but it's only 10 pieces a day, right? I mean, that's still pretty low, guys. If you look at the fact that it takes up to 200, 250, and 400 pieces to max out one single character. So it's going to take a lot of months just to do that. So yeah, I mean, I was expecting they would probably, you know, send out more events where they would give us more hero pieces. And I think that's what the plan is. So let's read the rest. We plan to lower the cost associated with hero transcendence from where it was initially, so that 6-star heroes become attainable with less resources and effort. Again, kudos. This is exactly what I wanted. I think a lot of players already want that because many players are reaching endgame fast. Me, myself, I am clearing stage 10 of many of the dungeon bosses. I think only Glissus probably have not done stage 10. And I'll probably make guides for that as well, do not worry. But yeah, I mean, we're reaching endgame pretty fast, so the next power we can get is probably from just, you know, simply powering up our own heroes, because there's gonna be time and equipment power is gonna run out, right? But again, we're not gonna go into that. Specifically, starting from June 7th, there'll be regular events providing increased drop rate for pieces, and the pieces of certain heroes will be made available through upcoming event and content rewards. Interesting. So it sounds a lot of fun. It sounds like there's gonna be a lot of grinding to do, and honestly, I'm all up for grinding. Come on, like the main reason I got personally addicted to Epic 7 was everything was not given too much easily, at least in the beginning. I know things might be a lot easier now, but I like to work for things. I know Outerplane is probably one of the more superior games because it has an innate skip feature with the skip tickets, but there's no fun in a game where you log in for 5 or 10 minutes and do the dailies and just ditch, right? So I need something to look forward to, and I think that's what they're hoping to give us, hopefully. The last point is the value of 6-star Transcendence heroes will also be adjusted in order to progressively bring down their total cost in terms of time and resources. Great, great. Sounds like a lot of great changes. These changes are still a work in progress, but we will provide additional details through a future notification. Amazing. Okay, holy shit, what is this? A new character? Damn, she looks so good. Damn, man, she kind of reminds me of a mixture of Abigail, the new character, which is released in Epic 7. Like, I know a lot of peeps probably do not play Epic 7, but those who do, she seems like a mixture of Spectre Tenebria and like the new character. I don't know, just a weird mix. But yeah, Eternal. Eternal is a charming yet deadly hero. She's a fire mage enchanter, capable of inflicting a wide range of powerful debuffs to enemies. She can provide versatile support in battle with her debuffs such as reduced defense and speed. Okay, I mean, she looks like she's just gonna be a better Dolly, probably. I don't know, because Dolly is currently the queen of debuffs. The sad part is she is 2-star, but still she's pretty, you know, she's easy to like acquire. She's easily to transcend. Hopefully this one is gonna be much better, but let's see. I don't think there's any skills given for her. As she provides speed and stability in clearing fire element armor and weapon raids, we expect to see her widespread adoption. Okay, so they're themselves saying that she might be broken. I think so. Guild Raid is coming. Holy shit, Guild Raid is coming. Amazing. In Guild Raid, you will cooperate with your guildmates to challenge powerful bosses and compete with other guilds over the course of 2 weeks to reach the top of the leaderboard. So it's kind of cooperative PvE. I mean, that's amazing. I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for more guild. Oh, also, by the way, guys, if any of you are having an active guild, I would really like to join one because my current guild is fucking dead. The leader just dipped, man. The leader literally dipped for the past 3 days, and there's a lot of like, I know a lot of players are active in my guild, but there's literally zero cooperation. There's no chatting. Everybody seems to be playing their own game, and there's no harm in that, but I'd really like to find a guild in which players are more active and, you know, they chat together. So just tell me or drop me down the notifications or in the comments what you would like to do. Just you know, hit me up if you have a guild. So yeah, there's that. Again, let's see the mechanics of the new guild raid. There you'll find sub-bosses called Gaia's Guardians and a main boss based on each season's theme. You must work with your guildmates to first defeat the Gaia's Guardians, then use the Gaesa you've acquired. Holy shit. What's that word? Gaesa you have acquired to take on the main boss as efficiently as possible and reach for the highest score. So I think it's again more you have to hit the boss, these Gaia Guardians, and the more damage or something you'll do, so more score you will rack up probably. I don't know, it's probably something related to that. This season's guild raid would feature Devout Flower of Scientific Inheritance Maxwell. Oh, it's a fucking skin? Holy shit, it's a skin. Dude, that looks so good. And the fact that I think this will be probably available completely free to play because it's something which is available through guild raids, a PvE content, right? Amazing. Challenge Maxwell, who has been reborn as a powerful water elemental boss, to obtain various rewards with your fellow guild members. That's pretty fucking sick, man. So apart from dark energy, this guy is gonna control water now. Amazing, amazing. I love skins. I'm all for skins. I just recently bought the Rin skin. Honestly, the effects are probably a lackluster on her. I was expecting something more, but the aesthetic of the skin is so good. Like, it's so good. Developers gameplay tips. Oh, so they're just giving up tips of their own. Working with your guild members. First, defeat the Gaia's Guardian. Makes use of various guys you can acquire to help you in your fight against the boss. Scientific Inheritance Devotee Maxwell is weak against Earth Elemental heroes. Yeah, that's natural. If he's gonna be Water Element, it's natural he's gonna be weak to Earth. So yeah, there's that. Lane Yuri Alice will be especially effective at countering his main mechanic. Interestingly, they mentioned these three heroes because I think all of them are supposed to counter buffs and strip buffs. So I'm guessing he's gonna have a lot of buffs. So we'll see about that. Event Dungeon. Holy shit, so this just keeps getting better. An event dungeon, the Reaper and the Gangster will be added. You'll be able to check out a short story of the new hero Eternal and obtain various rewards. You'll also be able to get a cute mascot character based on Eternal, so make sure to enjoy this new content. Amazing. We'll provide the details for the 7th June patch notes. So again, there's going to be a separate list of patch, especially for all the new content. I think this is just a preview to excite us. And honestly, I'm excited. I hope you all are excited as much as I am, because these new stuff looks dope. It looks dope. Improvements planned after June 7th. So this is probably in the more linear future, right? We have received your feedback regarding the following issues, and we plan to address them and make improvements as outlined below. We are planning to roll out these changes as quickly as possible, but these changes will require some additional development, and we'll ask for your understanding and are being unable to specify an exact date. Alright, cool. So these are stuff we can probably, this is kind of like a roadmap, I would guess. I mean, Epic 7 does it, so I think this is probably very similar. You'll see these stuff, you know, like slowly rolling out with updates. So yeah, that's amazing. Changes to hero growth. Okay, this is interesting. I mean, I don't feel there's problems with hero growth. Probably they could increase more XP or something, but I don't feel there's any problem. Let's see though. We notice an issue where team composition becomes more stagnant the more gameplay progresses. Yeah, this is true. This is especially true with Outerplane, man. Like, some characters are just more goated, and players have only so much resources to invest, right? Unlike in Epic 7, where each character kind of had a niche, you know. But here, someone like, I don't know, like what, Cindy, she's probably good, but so many characters are just useless. Flamberge, like the 1-stars are probably very useless. Right, so this has the potential to not only negatively impact hero balance, but also increase the difficulty of account progression. I would not agree with the second part, because I think focusing on a certain roster of heroes is actually going to increase your chances of account progression, especially in Outerplane, you know. But I see the fact that what they're trying to make, in order to allow players to more easily raise a wider pool of heroes and access a greater variety of content, we plan to implement the following changes. Increased income for growth-related resources. The daily entry limit for the gold, EXP, and upgrade stone farmers will be slightly increased to alleviate their scarcity at a basic level. And in order to promote growth at level 60, which can be demanding in terms of EXP and upgrade stone requirements, the entry limit of limited entry dungeons and overall EXP gain and hard difficulty will be increased. There will also be a slight increase to the availability of presents, shortening the time required to acquire exclusive equipment. Now, this is probably one of the biggest bottlenecks, and I know a lot of players are probably not talking about it. There's not enough presents to give your heroes, and quite literally, you can only acquire the exclusive equipment if you take the trust level to level 10, which is fucking massive. Like, I've only been able to done it for my Noah, and that is just by focusing on her alone. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough, man. It's really great that they're removing the barriers for all these gold and EXP and upgrade stone dungeons, because I mentioned in my previous video where I said that I had 3 major issues, and with the things that they're doing, they have literally countered probably all of the issues that I had. Like, my issues were probably the same, and they have like at least mentioned solutions to rectify them. I'm great that they're listening. I'm very thankful that they're actually listening to the community, and they're not just ego lifting updates, thinking what's best for the community. They're actually listening. So I mean, that's amazing. That's a step in the right direction. Decoupling hero levels and upgrades. What is this? What is this? At present, due to max level being, oh, okay, upgrades. Okay, I get that. So it's like when you take your hero from 40 to 60, 60 to 80, yeah, you require upgrade stones. Hero growth can stall together when a hero reaches max level, while the required upgrade stone is not available. Now this has happened a lot to me, because it seems, because of the bottleneck of the upgrade stones, so many of my heroes are at max level, but I'm not able to upgrade them, right? And when I take them in a battle, I feel they're missing out on experience, and it just itches me, right? Probably it's just me, because the experience is really not that much at all, but it feels it kills efficiency, right? While the current relationship between skill enhancement and hero upgrades will be maintained, we'll be changing hero level requirements so that heroes will be able to reach level 100 regardless of upgrade status. So, what is that? So does that mean there's not gonna be any upgrade stone required to break through their levels or something? I'm not exactly sure what they mean by following the changes above. Upgrades will be carried out independently, and hero growth resulting from upgrade level will be slightly increased. Oh, so is it gonna be like an ascension system like there is in Epic 7? So you can just upgrade your heroes, that's a separate thing which is gonna be there. So it's gonna be like base stat change or something. I think it's probably that, right? Hero resource recall. We'll develop and implement a feature allowing players to recall resources spent on hero grant that they wish to undo. That's amazing. I mean, I know a lot of games which do not have this feature, even after like 5 or 6 years. And I mean, there's of course like Summoner's War is there, and Summoner's War does not have this feature, and it's been out for almost like 10 years now. So this is amazing. This is amazing. It really saves a lot of time and resources. So even if a new player, he makes a mistake, well, there's nothing to worry about, because you can just recall it. Now I know there's going to be probably some barrier to it, for example like once a month or something, but it's still better than nothing, right? Others, we plan to slightly increase the availability of lower tier skill books that can be found through Resource Shop and Infinite Corridor. Again, great change for low players, new players. Changes to hero balancing. This is going to be probably one of the big areas, because I know a lot of players are pissed that Rin, Noah, Valentine, Veronica, like these heroes are so good, they just outshine the rest of the heroes in the game. And it feels like, it's kind of unfair. It's like power creep, but without the actual power creep, because these heroes were like released at the same time. I get that feeling a lot, especially with Noah. Like, Noah is just the best choice. Like, I know a lot of players are probably thinking or debating between Noah and Maxwell in the beginning, but I've made my stance clear. Like, Noah is just the superior champion. She is the best hero in the game at the moment, like this period, right? Anyways, let's see what they have in store. We'll be adjusting hero balance in order to resolve the hero. The issues of stagnating team compositions. Yeah, they already mentioned that. I think that's a great direction that they're moving at, that they want players to diversify heroes. So currently you'll see in PvP, every single one of them is going to have the same exact team composition. Freaking Valentine, Noah, it's probably going to be Rin and Dolly or something, or Snow. It's literally the same teams most of the times. It gets pretty annoying. I get that feeling. Furthermore, we plan to adjust the balance of talismans that serve as the core of boss battle strategies. I think talismans are fine as they are. I mean, I know the CP talismans are much more in demand compared to something like AP. But I mean, I still think they're good, right? Again, I don't see the problem, but let's see. The second point is, should this process result in a nerf? We'll be providing hero resource recall functionality at the same time. and we will announce the details through an advance notice before proceeding with the changes. Nice. Our intended goal is for the game remains... wait, what? No, our intended goal is to increase the pool of viable heroes for each area of content, and as a vision of the game remains to allow for the leveling and gearing of heroes of each element to the requirements respective to each area of content. We will do our best to avoid nerfs that may cause players concern. I think that's a very a diplomatic way of saying that, you know, they will do nerfs if they please, and if it's required. I think that's a great choice. I know Epic 7 they had a very strong no nerf policy, and it resulted in a lot of bad decisions. So I would rather have a team which is competent with the nerfs, you know, not just mindlessly nerfing stuff, but if they're competent with the nerfs, it's actually pretty good for the overall health of the game, especially in PvP scenarios. Coming to the third point, rather than carry out these changes in a rush, we plan to carefully look into repercussions these changes may have in the game's overall combat. Furthermore, we plan to continue with the regular balance adjustments, a part of our update going forward. Nice. In this future, this will happen in the form of buffs to two heroes whose utility has greatly fallen behind your expectations. Okay, so Rin, I get that Rin is pretty bad in PvE, but I think she's pretty dope in PvP. So let's see. Our initial intent was to allow players to take advantage of Rin's area attacks to easily progress to story mode in the early game, and for her to become an effective main DPS against fire in the late game. As her current performance is falling behind relative to expectations, we'll be giving her buff. Insane. So I guess Rin is just gonna be more better. I mean, I already liked her. I'm not gonna say she's not Noah level, right? She's not a good DPS. She's not like Francesca, but her AoE damage is damn good, right? Her damage is not bad in arena, but I would see if she's a problem in PvE. I mean, I don't see it's a problem if you have Valentine or Noah, but again, I know what they're saying, right? Alice is in a pretty dicey position. I don't want them to overbuff Alice, because I feel she can be pretty amazing in PvP, right? Our goal for Alice was her to be a hero whose moderate PvP performance really made her for a stellar performance in PvP. Yeah, I get that feeling. I would say this was what they're taught on Rin as well. I don't think they thought that Rin would be good in story mode. Like, come on. As her usage rates appear to be low due to issues with priority gauge increased effect on her skill 2, what is it? What are you saying? I think they mentioned that she only gets priority gauge from her skill 2, and the activation chance of the effect on her exclusive equipment will be giving her a buff. Oh wait, oh, so it's a buff actually. Sorry, so they're saying they're gonna give priority gauge increase effect on her skill 2, and they're gonna give a chance to activate her skill 2 via her exclusive equipment or something. I mean, this language is not exactly clear, so if anybody knows exactly what they're saying, probably just comment down below. Changes to monster balance mechanics. Honestly, the more I'm reading that in my mind, I think Alice is gonna be great, because priority gauge increase effect, I think it's gonna make it more easier to build her with less speed, and she's gonna have just more usability in teams because she's gonna be able to push allies, right? I mean, of course, I'm hoping this is an AoE priority gauge increase, not just for herself. Again, coming to the next part, changes to monster balance mechanics. We are aware of certain monsters that can pose too high of a hurdle, and we'll be making changes accordingly. As there's a sense of accomplishment in overcoming these hurdles, we'll be adjusting the mechanics to pose a more reasonable challenge rather than dial the difficulty down too far. First, certain bosses encountered during initial progression and too difficult will have the difficulty of their mechanics adjusted. So, Deckard Area 6, Kesai Area 10, and Demerge Stella in Area 10. Damn, so they're nerfing Dark Stella as well. I mean, Deckard was problem. Deckard is, especially 6-5 Deckard in hard mode, he's a fucking menace to be dealt with, man. And the 5-5 boss, I don't think he's a Deckard. I think that's something else. That's another, like, I'm forgetting the name. That's a big pain in the ass, man. 5-5 hard and 6-5 hard. Again, in the Skyward Tower, bosses that become a hurdle for players such as Sigma will have their difficulty re-evaluated and adjusted again. amazing. So they're making it more easier. I mean, I'm all for it, man. Like, I get that there's a sense of accomplishment. Like for me, when I first unlocked Stella in my OBT account, it was a massive achievement for me. A massive achievement. And it really gave me so much satisfaction. And I get that feeling is very necessary, right? Or else if everything is served to you on a plate, it feels like a boredom, right? It feels so much boring. Changes to side stories. We've noticed an issue where players spend all their side story entries through piece farming and become unable to view the stories. Changes will be made so that side story entries will not be expended outside of dungeons where pieces. Man, these guys are actually playing the game, because I was literally about to mention this in my next video where I was gonna make probably a piece farming guide, and I was gonna mention this exact fact that side story entries should not be consumed except when you are farming the exact stage where you obtain the piece, like the stage 9. I don't think it should be viable to take entries just for the rest of the stages, because you're literally getting nothing except ether, right? So I mean, this is a great change. This is amazing. I hope they bring this out with the coming update. It will save me a lot of time. I mean not just me, the whole community. It'll save a lot of players. And it will also increase a lot of ether gain, because keep in mind, these stages do give a lot of ether. I think they give like 15 ether per clear. So I mean, that's a lot of ether for you to collect, right? I'm glad to have been able to introduce myself through developers notes. I hope this post will continue to elevate convenience players may have experience in the game's launch. Blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, last but not least, we have prepared a small gift as a thank you to all our players. 500 ether, dude, that's insane. 500 ether, holy shit, man, they're generous with these fucking dev notes or something. Like, they're giving us 500 ether just for a dev note. What? Amazing. That's amazing, man. But that's a very short window, guys, so make sure to claim it before 7th, basically before the update lands. So there's that. What's your own thoughts of it? Mine is, these are some fantastic changes. I didn't see a single bad change. I'm really proud of what the game's direction is currently, and I would really like to say this guy, who is Mr. Monsoon Hyun. I think he is pretty knowledgeable from the first reading that I got to know, and this is the first update for global. This is amazing. So anyways, leave down your comments. What do you think of the updates? And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.